Good Saturday afternoon, everyone. I decided to come live because I did go thrifting today. I had a rather busy day, so I had to get in that power nap. So I decided to come on here and show you guys what I picked up. It wasn't a lot, but it's hey, Chew, welcome in, sweetheart. Make sure you hit that thumbs up before you come in the chat or after you leave. And there's Rudy, welcome in. So, oh, did something happen to your account, Rudy? My, oh, okay. Oh my goodness. I tell you, nothing's safe anymore, is it? So, I think tomorrow we're getting ready to have some very inclement weather. The weather's been very nice here, but however, in the springtime when everything warms up and there's Ginger, welcome in, sweetie. I'm working everybody's stuff. I did go get the boxes this morning. Then I went thrifting and then I came home and I guess I kind of forgot to eat. Well, I had something and I was downstairs working on something and all of a sudden I got real sweaty and dizzy because I have hypoglycemia. So I need to really watch that because when your blood sugar drops, that's one of the things that happens. You get sweaty, shaky, nervous, weak. So I tell you, maybe I should mind my eating a little bit better, right? Oh, yeah, Ginger, you know all about the perils of hyperglycemia. So I was diagnosed with it. I think I was 35. And so, boy, if you don't eat, you do get in trouble. So I did eat something, but it wasn't a lot. And you get busy and you don't think about it until all of a sudden you feel really bad and kind of weak and sweaty. And that's what happened to me. So, got to behave myself, right? So, normally I would come on earlier, but I had to take a power nap after that incident. Yeah, it's sometimes they say low blood sugar is worse than high blood sugar, but we can take sugar better than a diabetic, but also in the same breath, we have to have that protein, and we can't really afford to skip that food because that's part of it. So, you know how we are. My husband was saying, you used to be as rough as an old pine knot. And I said, excuse me? He goes, you're getting older. And I said, you are too. So, but I wear the Libre 3. That's the thing that sticks to your skin, isn't it? 1 year older. Hey, Laura, welcome in. So, like I said, I would have been on earlier, but I had to take the power nap because I think my blood sugar dropped. And, we have to pay attention to that. I'm just hard headed and I keep going, and I'm like the Energizer bunny. I don't know when to stop. So, I did pick some things up while I was out. I did get the boxes. I got some pretty good boxes. So I'm so glad you guys came in. I did get those boxes. I am preparing things. Usually I prepare your things first, and Ginger, yours is already boxed up. And I think I had someone request something before the show, and then I had someone request things after the show, so it was added on to the things I already had. So I think I've got 3 ready to go out. So I am diligently working on your things. I know, Laura, I'm hard-headed and I think I'm invincible, but I'm not. And I do go along with what my husband said, I am getting older, but that doesn't mean that I'm not stubborn. So, yeah, I do. I really do. And I think sometimes as we get older and, we think we're invincible and we can do all these things, and all of a sudden it creeps up on you. But it came out of nowhere. And I love you too, you guys too. And I was just downstairs doing putting some pool noodles around some things. And all of a sudden I just felt really dizzy and weak and sweaty. So I do know that's all part of it. So that's what I get for not for. I think I had some peanut butter and crackers, and that was it. So the aftermath of that, you're extremely hungry. You eat anything in your sight. Yes, Laura, it did. Yeah, I got that. It did arrive, and it fits perfectly. Thank you guys, and it fits perfectly. And Laura, I think probably the reason why the tag, what was that? Oh, the lady that I think probably the tag from that, probably we know that a lot of times the first thing that wears out on a necklace is the lobster claw, and maybe that was replaced. So Pauline Ray, what was it? Pauline Raider or something like that. But I think that's probably what happened. Maybe someone changed out the little mechanism that you use to put it on, and that does happen. They just forgot to put that other part back on. But I believe that's probably what happened. But it is beautiful. You just click it on and run out the door, and I like that part of it. And guess what, guys? PayPal told me that I couldn't do an invoice for at least 3 business days. Well, I was on there last night and did 2 of them, and they went right through. So, hey, I think as with any system, there are bugs in it. And I don't care how good it is. But yeah, I was able to actually go into PayPal and do an invoice. So evidently, when it finally acknowledged, yeah, the cartouche, that may have been something that someone might have taken off and put something else on there. And that's what I was thinking. And that happens a lot because, on your necklaces, the cartouche or whatever and is attached to it, or maybe it was on the piece itself and someone replaced it and just never put it back. Pauline Raider, that's it. But that's what I was thinking. That's why people, if you have a marked necklace that, of a designer like that, it's best to try not to leave that off. And I think that's definitely what happened. So let's go down into the box here. I did pick up 2 of these Sterilite little boxes that have the lids on them, and they were less than $3, and they were like this, and they were clear. So everything fit very nicely in there, and I just put it. Yeah, I something just told me to go in there and try it, and boom, it went right off. I think sometimes PayPal has a delayed. Maybe it was thinking. I don't know, but I know I clicked on my correct phone number, and it worked. So, like they say, to God be the glory, because it was really. I was getting ready to lose it. But I got this amazing set here, and it's called the Courting Couple, and I forgot my phone. Darn it! And there was, a lot of times it's hard to get these sets. Puffy flower, puffy heart necklace. Oh, mercy, me too, Laura. I was on Beth's channel, not Fizz. I was in the auction part of it, And she had this angel skin coral and pearl necklace with that little flower. You probably seen it. Well, I ended up with it because that's the one that I wanted. So it was a battle to the end, I must say. You know how I am when I want something. Hey, Shannon. Shannon. I have to get her to go down there and get my phone. She probably didn't hear me. But I got this amazing, it's called a courting couple. And they're kind of vintage. You know, they're not, I didn't see any marking on them, but it may have worn off. And I'll show them to you. They're very, I can't believe I left my phone downstairs. But check this out. Look at that. Let me straighten it up. And that is a set, and I'm not for sure. Um, Guys, my phone is really close downstairs. Let me lower the camera and let you guys look at these. And I'll be right back because I need that phone. And ignore the mess. It always gets worse before it gets better. So look at those beauties right there, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. Being in this room's like playing a game of Twister here, but okay. Look at this, guys. And look at the ring on her finger. Let me get it to be still. See that little ring? Let me hang this up. But this is called the courting couple, and look at the detail in that. Here's the back of it. Hey, Lucy, welcome in, sweetie. Good to see you. And there's the back. And I do have the coordinating guy. And there he is. And these are old. See, with his top hat there. And there's the back. So they do match. And let me see what it says about it. I thought that they were just amazing, the condition of them. So I picked them up. You know, guys, it's for this time of the year, the humidity. And I think we're supposed to get some storms. Hey, Face the Ace, welcome in. And I hope not bad ones, but they do say that when you have all this humidity and stuff coming in and it hits a cold front, it's never a good thing. So I will tell you what this is. Let's see. Look at her. Well, guys, according to this, let me make sure I've got the right one. Okay, there she is. I don't know what she has in her hand, but it is a, some of them are a little different, but it's a vintage, let me see if I can't find that particular one. He's got a top hat. Guys, this says that it is a 1940s German Wagner and Apel nude figurines, but they don't look naked to me. But that's what they describe it as. That's not it. Why did it tell that? Let's see here. And it looks like they do beg a pretty price. No, no, I think I picked up on something else. Don't lose it out there. It was something different. So, what I believe it is, if I can get it to come up, it is a sitting Victorian couple, sitting reticulated chairs. I guess it means this back here. Porcelain figurines. There's the back, and I do have the pair. I think it's always good to get. And there's the guy sitting with his legs crossed, with his hand on his hat. And he is trimmed in gold trim. And here is the coordinating lady. This ain't that kind of channel. And see how she is also edged in that gold. And look, she even has look at that detail. That's a ring, guys. Right there. Please. Oh, Ginger wants those, huh? They are beautiful. And I found this one piece, and there was probably something way back in the day on these, because it looked like there was a sticker, but it's long since gone. So it doesn't have any, see, there was probably a sticker right there many, many moons ago, but that's long since gone. But I thought these were really nice. Very, very nice. And I like the way that her dress comes down right there. And I don't know what she has in her hand over here, but she has something in her face. She rather has a get up on there. And I guess the reticulated refers to this here. So they make a very lovely set. And I'll tell you how tall they are. They are approximately 5 inches from the bottom of this chair to the top of her hat. And we'll see what he is. He is about 5.5 inches, but this is the kind of things, guys. I had an aunt, which they say I look identical to back, and she used to collect this kind of stuff. So I guess I get it honest. She was the one that was so particular about when someone ran the vacuum, they had to run it in a certain direction. I mean, she was really, and I guess maybe and she would collect stuff like this. But I think that's pretty amazing. Maybe you might find one of these, maybe. And 2 is very lucky to find without the other one being decimated. So, you want those, Ginger? They are beautiful. They're porcelain, too. Okay, hang on. Oh, gosh, you ought to say, I wish this was Fenton, but it's not. It's Nippon, China, Nippon. And of course, anything that's vintage, they always mark it with a V, but check this out. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. And it says Nippon on the bottom, hand painted in Nippon. Let me see if I can get it to where you can see it right there. So that's Nippon, China. But isn't it beautiful? Hey, bird on a wire. Well, I do have a certain, yes, I do like certain things, and thank you for the compliment. But I was so hoping this was Fenton, but it's not. Look how beautiful that is. And of course, there's their vintage sticker that they always put on. And I know even the ends of the shoe there are lined in that gold, fired gold. She is a beauty. I like the way that. Now, if I was back in those days, I would wear a shoe stylized just like that. It would look just like that. But isn't that beautiful? And you know what? So they even put, somebody had a real, I don't think that was stamped, but how big is this shoe? The shoe is approximately about about 5 inches, guys, and it's really beautiful. And I was drawn to it immediately. But I just think it was amazing, hand painted Nippon. It doesn't say China, but we know that's where it's from. It is gorgeous. So I know a lot of people do collect shoes, and isn't that amazing? And they usually mark everything with that. Of course, I knew it was vintage to start with, but oh, isn't that beautiful? I've got something that you guys will never guess what it is, and I'll give you see if you guys know what this is. I didn't know what it was because I'd never seen one before. But you're about to see something. I'm going to ask you guys what this is, and it's amazing. I'm not for sure the material of what this is made out of, but I seen it and I was drawn to it. Let me go to my, so let's see here. That's not it. That's not it. There it is. So, you guys may not know what it is because none of us was around during that time period. So, but I'll show it to you and I'll tell you what it is, but I'll let you guess what it is. And yes, it does look like a trinket box, but that's not what it is. So, and here I'll show you the top part of it. Isn't that lovely? And of course, they put the B on it, and that's the top of it. There's that part. Here is the bottom. Yes, it does have the look of a trinket box, but it's so much more than that. And then there's that part of it. There's your bottom. Hey, Christy, welcome in. Thank you, Christy. I'm wearing that ring that I got from Christy. I just love it. And thank you, Christy. It is so beautiful, moonstone and sterling. So I love it. It's made to where that, I don't know, there's just something that I really love about it. And you can put other rings beside it without there being any, us ladies in our rings. So here's what we have. And of course, that's real fired gold on top. So now that we have seen this, thank you, Christy. What do we think this is? No, it is not a trinket box. It is definitely a blast from the past. We'll move it in. Look how beautiful that is. So, does anyone want to make any guesses on what this is? And I'll give you a hint. It is porcelain. Let's see. I think this one. I think the top. It may be porcelain or ceramic. And I think this is really old. No, Laura, but that's a good guess. But I thought that was so lovely. and it's in really good shape. Let me move it in. Hey, Don, a dish to soak your teeth in. Yeah, you could put your false teeth in there. There would be room for that. So, good to see you, Don. Welcome in. Yeah, you could put your teeth in there. This, my friends, is a vintage. Are you ready for this? A vintage hair receiver. And you're like, what in the world is that? What this is, guys, is back in the Victorian era. It was something that I guess it was very uncouth to clean your hairbrush and put the hair on the dressing table. And listen to this: collected hair was later used for creating rats for hairstyles or stuffing pincushions. So there was a method to that madness. These items were popular from the Victorian era through the early 1900s. They are now often repurposed as a decorative items or for storing small objects. And that's what this is. It's a hair receiver. My guess was that it was very uncouth to leave to clean your hairbrush and leave your whatever came out of it on your what do you call that? Your dressing table. So they put it in here, and then they later utilized it. But that's what that is. That's exactly what that is. And boy, this thing is old, old, old. Yeah, you could put your false teeth in there, but I just thought it was really amazing. But yes, at first glance, it does look like a trinket box, but it is not. But it is very old, guys. You won't see this around the corner, but that's what it is. Yeah, I tell you, my daughter has her hair's longer, and it gets wrapped around that little thing, and it's just after a while you just don't have to cut it off of there because it'll keep your brush from spinning. Because Shannon's hair is way down her back, but every now and then she asks me to trim her hair, and I can do it. I remember when she was in school and I trimmed her bangs, and they were like that. And someone said, "What's wrong with your bangs?" That so you learn. I didn't say I was perfect. She asked me to do it, so I did it. But it doesn't compare with your brother or sister cutting your hair when you was little. Oh wow, that is long, and Laura's hair is really thick too. And it looked like, Laura, yesterday your hair has a little wave in it, which is neat. So moving on. But I've greatly improved with my haircuts after that. I can cut straight across. So here's another beauty. Isn't that pretty? This is kind of a peach colored. It's like a vase. There's your bottom, dead giveaway. It's vintage when you see something like that. On the bottom, it's a very lovely color. And I will tell you what it is. This is actually, it's got a carnival glass type thing on it, so it does have that carnival glass deal to it, and it's marked vintage. So whenever I see the V, I go right to it. But a lot of times I can tell if they're vintage or not. So just by looking at them, I think I was reincarnated from a long time ago. They always told me that I was an old soul. So what this is a vintage imperial glass carnival marigold diamond quilted vase, and it is 7 inches tall, and it is really beautiful. Let me see if I can get a year on that. But yeah, it's vintage imperial glass carnival marigold diamond quilted vase. Now, if that's not a mouthful, yeah, I know. Always thought that I may have been reincarnated from a like back in the where they wore the big dresses and the big hats, but I'm really drawn to that. And people always told me that I was much more intelligent than what my age was. And hey, Lenore, welcome in, sweetie. But there you have it, beautiful carnival glass. Just saying. Good to see you, Lenore. So I'll just wrap this back up. So this is another pretty right here. This is this is in 3 parts, and I'll show you. Part number 2 is in here. Okay. And you guys know I'm always out for those unique pieces that you don't see every day. Let's see. But I came across this, and I think it's really beautiful. So here's your stand right here. And then the most amazing part is yet to come, and I'll show it to you. You do have vintage plates that go inside here. So here is plate. Look at the butterflies in that. Isn't that gorgeous? The butterflies and the different things in there. And so it goes like this. Sits right there. And we have an identical one that goes with it. So I guess it's some kind of serving set. And the other piece is identical. So there you have your butterflies, your dragonflies, your flowers. And it goes right down in the bottom. Hey, Tanya, sweetheart, welcome in. So there you have a fancy smancy little serving setup. And I believe, let me look again on these plates, but it has the wire rack has leaves, and it's very durable. And let me get you I think I Googled yeah, it's a great server. And with the holidays coming up, Easter or whatever, if you're into entertaining, then this will be the ticket. But I like to find things that are unique, and that's definitely unique. Let's go back. We'll take a look. I'm surprised this wasn't marked vintage because it is. So we'll go here. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. Antique. Whoa. So evidently these are antique plates. Um, Vintage EAPG heavy glass plate embossed. Oh, wow. Let's visit that site. Embossed dragonfly, butterfly, and it shows these in a stand, and they're all textured, and it's a heavy glass plate, embossed dragonfly, butterfly, floral, dinner or salad plate. So how it got into this, which I don't care because I think it's a novel ideal. So the glass part is vintage. It's butterflies and florals. So this is old, and I guess maybe someone came up with the ideal to put. I guess it works. You know what I mean? But I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. Isn't that amazing? You got your butterfly on the bottom. So I don't know if someone in the shop put this together like this or what, but I think we have a winner definitely. And Laura, thank you for dropping those links, but there you have it. And this is like a wrought iron, and it's very, very strong, but this would be beautiful if you're serving. I think it'd be pretty with cupcakes on it or whatever. It's just a real beautiful serving type thing. So I guess maybe the ladies in the back must have added this to it, which is fine with me because I think it's beautiful like that. So, alrighty then. And what would a trip to the thrift store be without going through the jewelry? And we'll set this over to the side. It's good to see everyone. I'm going to get a quick drink. It is really humid here in Indiana. I bet we get one heck of a storm. So, now I found this mellifluore. If I'm saying that correctly, I may not be, but I thought it was amazing. I don't know if someone just threw this together. Pull this off. But look, guys, this is all mellifluore, and you've got your flowers, and even those little beads are mellifluore. So I don't know if it does have a toggle, kind of cute. It is not sterling, but that's a lot of mellifluore right there. So every one of those is mellifluore. That's where the flowering goes all the way down. So here's what I thought. I said, who would make a necklace that has mellifluore in it, but has no kind of other, like a silver finding or even a different round thing? But it's all mellifluore. Fostoria, yes, Christy, I do come across Fostoria. That, and I could have something here by Fostoria if it hasn't sold. But yes, all mellifluore. So, like I said, I don't know someone, but you would have thought that they would have put some kind of little finding in there to kind of break that up a little bit and do the mellifluore more justice, but to each his own. I didn't quibble, I just picked it up. To the victor, death go the spoils, is what I say. So, I don't think I've ever seen Hey, Brian, sweetheart, welcome in. I don't think I've ever seen that much mellifluore in one piece, but I'm sure it's out there. This is all glass. And do we have a sterling silver hook? Let's find out. Let's see here. I kind of doubt it just by looking at it, but just for giggles, we'll see. So, and I imagine this is vintage because look, all that is glass. And there's your beads. And it's not just a round bead, it's like a bicone. The white ones are bicone. And then you have that right there. Very lovely red. And it's not extremely short like a lot of them are. Isn't that amazing? It's the shape of the beads that kind of beckoned my attention because you don't see that. Hey, Minnie, welcome in, sweetie. But I thought that it's definitely, these beads are definitely old. But I thought I kind of like red, and I think Dawn looks really beautiful in red. So I imagine this is an oldie but a goodie. And I know these are stones, and I think they're. I'll let Christy get a good look at them for me. I'm not for sure what they are, but we do have some people, and Tanya's pretty astute in her stones as well. We have a lobster claw. Hey, Simone, welcome in, sweetie. I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while. Look at that. Look at that. So, guys, we know it's a stone, but what is it? Let me hold it still. Say, if you'd hold it still, lady, we might be able to tell you. Yes, Jasper agate. And a lot of people, you see a lot of people going through necklaces, and being on a platform like YouTube, you learn a lot when you watch other people's lives and you see the stones. And I told my husband, I said, the reason why a lot of these are left behind because people just simply don't know what they're looking at. They don't realize what's going on. But there is your lobster claw, and it is gorgeous. And where's my? So that's when I come in, specifically looking for things like that. I swoop in like a bandit because that's one of the perks of YouTube. You get to know what's what, and there she is. You get to know what's what. You learn, and the things you learn are priceless when you go out thrifting. And hello, Craig, welcome in. When you go out thrifting, because you know what, those need to be clean, but I don't think they're silver, but just for giggles, I might check them. But isn't that amazing? But yes, we learn a lot, just by watching, but isn't that gorgeous? You even have your little square long ones on there. Very beautiful. What are those necklaces that you could put with about anything? Oh, Lord. Thank you so much for the compliment, Christy, but I think I learned more from other people, but thank you for the compliment. And Lori, thank you for, I have a photographic memory and I can remember things. I have a memory like a steel trap. And I store all this information, but I've learned from Tanya and numerous people. And I think it's amazing when you go out thrifting and you see something, I mean, I might not be able to identify what the stone is, but I know when it's a stone. But thank you so much. Oh shoot, beware of Gina's bun. I'm harmless, guys, really. Unless provoked. No, I'm kidding. Look at this one, guys. This is a bracelet, and look at that. That's some kind of banded agate. I know that. And then you've got some glass beads intermingled in that. Isn't that amazing? This is a larger, yeah, this is a larger bracelet. Look at this amazing right there. Look at that. And like I said, this is larger and it fits me about like that with a little extra room. Oh yeah, that would be pretty as an anklet, but I seen that and I think, well, how can people leave this stuff because they don't know what they're looking at? But boy, I do when I go in there. The first thing I do is grab a hold of it. If I feel something cold, I'll move things around. But yes, and I love the colors in that. But we do learn a lot from our fellow resellers. And when we're out, guys, that helps us to identify things. And I was just thinking today, like Christy and Jody and Laura, and there comes Beth, and what a coincidence because I have one of your boxes I'm going to open. And Beth, the Turtle Shell, is a very good channel as well. She has some amazing things. How well I know. And how do you know? Just trust me. And she's fairly new, and we need to support her. I see Beth going places because Beth is very knowledgeable about her stones and she's very professional. And it just takes a little while to get started. But guys, I tell you, we've all been in the hot seat where we're new and she has integrity. Yes, ma'am. And we're new and we just need that little bit of help. And, you know, when people are helped like that, it really gives them momentum. And I foresee Beth being a pretty before too long, Beth, you're going to be up there because she has a lot of intelligence when it comes to stones. And there's Josie, welcome in. She knows what she's talking about. And to me, she's just as good as the next one. That's my opinion. So that's from the book of Gina. So, but yeah, we need to support these channels and stuff, and that's why Laura's dropping links, and I so appreciate that. One of Gina's shows helped me a lot when I felt there was too much politics. Yeah, you know, sometimes, Chrissy, honey, there's people people are so worried about what other people have and how other people do. Now, first of all, we're all different as individuals. Forget about it. I used to be like that. I used to let people do, and could never tell it now. And it used to bother me. And you know, if I'm associated and with someone, and I try not to judge you guys, but if I see something that's wrong and it continues, I just poof, I disappear. And that's it. That way I'm not getting into a confrontation with anyone. I just poof. But if they email me, I'm going to tell them why. So that's the way I do it, guys. And it takes a while to, you know, I'm 61 years old, and it does take a while to develop that tact. You know what I mean? It really does. And when you get to the point you say, hey, this is me, like it or not, I'm a good person, and you're not going to stop me. Because when you try to stop me, that just makes me stronger, right? Oh, yes, Brian, I agree. But I used to be quiet and reserved, and when I hit 20 something, I come out. Hey, Husam, welcome in. You're new. Everyone, welcome Husam in. Good to see you. Now, I have this necklace. You guys probably remember it on a short. It's got hustle or something. And this, guys, is the bracelet that matches that necklace. And I bought the necklace like 6 months ago. And then I've come across this. and it matches that hustle, loyalty, and it's a medallion. Yes. And the necklace has the big medallion and it has this kind of chain. So this matches the necklace I have, and look how amazing that is. There's your latch. So, you do come to a point where, thank you, Brian. Yes, they are. Man, I grabbed that with a little alarm went off in my mind when I seen that. I said, "Hey, that'll match my necklace." So I picked that up, and it has an amazing look how well that's made. So naturally, I grabbed that because I know it matches something that I have. But no, guys, never let anyone hinder you. If you want to do something, do it. Don't worry about what people think because they're going to think it anyway. There's two things in this life that you cannot change: what people say and what they do. But, they're going to, I just come to the realization, there's no sense in really getting upset about it because you can't change that person. They're going to be themselves. But you know who you are and you know what, set those boundaries, guys. If something's going on and someone's mistreating you, walk away. Walk away. And I've did it numerous times. Sometimes we have to, thank you, Beth, we have to make a decision. We know what kind of people we are, and I'm doing fine. Who's Sam? Thank you so much for coming in. And we know who we are. We don't need to explain nothing to nobody because we're a good person. We do things on the up and up. We don't owe anyone an explanation. So they can just trip on, as I say. But, yeah, am I feisty? Probably. I've always kind of been this way. But so since Beth is here, I have a box from Beth. And we know what that is. And here it is, a little box, but little does not mean it's not good. Trip on. But no, I'm a good person. But one thing that I don't like is when I see someone being mistreated or anything like that. Yeah, it upsets me. And I'll tell you. And guys, it's not that we think we're better than someone else. It's like if you're in an atmosphere where there's something is wrong and something like that, and you stay there, then either one of two things are going to happen. You're going to become just like they are, or you're going to dread life in general. Just walk away, guys. That's the best thing you can do. That way there's no arguing, and a lot of people love to argue. That's what my husband's told me, that I love to argue. Well, if I'm right, I'm right. So, we, when you're associated with someone and you know that you have been good to them, and guys, it's like this. There's so many people out there, such good people, and sometimes they let others form an opinion for you. And then it comes to the point where, don't let people dictate to you. You know who you are. Don't let them, nobody tell me who I am because I know who I am. And if they want to be petty, let them be petty on their own quarter because I'm not like that. Yeah, Laura, it is good to move on. It really is because life is too short. If people can't treat you with dignity and respect, they don't need to be in. You don't need to be around them because their negativity is a bad thing, and I cannot stand it. And you just move on. You pray for that person, and you keep smiling because, honey, tomorrow's another day. It really is. And don't let people, Sometimes learning from the school of hard knocks is the best way. But so this one box is from Beth, and I have another one over there as well. She always puts her things in a nice box. And what do we have here? We have I think it is a Kate Spade, and we know that Kate Spade, her things normally when someone is deceased, and my wrist is small. I like to watch unboxings. Well, that's good, Brian. It's exciting. It's good to see what other people have, and I do have a small wrist. So how do I get this open? But if you can encourage someone, do it. Because guys, there's so much meanness out there today that it's just terrible that, that people are that way. But guys, we can't change people, but we can walk away from it. And buddy, I've walked away from a lot of unsavory things. And I'll tell you what, guys, I would do it again. Now that I figured out how to open that up. I'm looking forward to seeing the puffy powder necklace. Yep, Laura, I had that on yesterday. But it fits so well. And so, guys, I have a small wrist. So this is a gold tone Kate Spade with little rhinestones on it in really good shape. It's marked Kate Spade on the inside. And I've got a little tiny wrist. But, like talking about Kate Spade, when someone passes, their things become much more. Why do I feel like Gina could have been a TV evangelist? Well, Christy, I've got a channel, Genuinely Gina, where we talk about the Bible and positive things and, but no, I like to be encouraging, guys, because, life is too darn short to spend it worried about what someone else thinks, because they're going to think it anyway. Just move on, and that way avoid any circumstances, because it's not worth it. Just live your best life. There it is. And Christy, I come on Tuesdays at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we would love to have you. And my next guest will be Brian Lloyd. And it will be about dealing with death and loss. So Brian will be my guest. You're welcome to come in. We'd love to have you. So there, Laura has dropped that link. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. And I'm not saying that I am no way a minister, do not claim to be. Hey, Lydia, welcome in. But we read the Bible and we learn together. And this is another Kate Spade. And we learn together and we discuss things. And a lot of times, we have people come in that's going through something that it gives them a form of relief, from what they're going through. And it just really helps, guys. We live in a world, and that's Kate Spade right there. We live in a world where, it's so many bad things happen, and it's just good to be in the company of people that, like I said, I don't have no minister's license, but I can read the Bible and we can learn together and we can support each other. And that's why I wanted to start that channel, because something kept, God just kept pecking me on the shoulder, and I guess he knew I had something to give, and it was so obvious, guys. Oh, I love these earrings, that what I needed to do. And sometimes, God speaks to people, let me tell you. And I knew that that's what he wanted me to do. Not that I don't have one piece of paper. I've never stepped one foot in a college, but I can read and we can share things together and help each other out. That's what it's all about. Oh my God, I just love these dangles. Oh, they're so cute. We can help one another. Life is not easy, guys. And sometimes the storms of life, aren't those cute? Sometimes the storms of life leave us just, yeah, and they're Kate Spade. I love those. They are so pretty. I like that. But sometimes the storms in life, we feel like a little bird, and the wind blows us, and we get knocked up against a tree branch, and we feel like that, you know. And sometimes we will go through tough things. That's where your friends come in and the people that really love you, and they lift you up, and they just let you know that tomorrow's another day. Oh, I love it. I really love those as well. But yes, and I felt like that God called me to do that channel. And when God, he knows what he's doing. So I don't think that the thought of I mean, it just came out of nowhere, and evidently God saw that I had a gift to give to other people. So I just got in their head first and took right off, because sometimes God, when he wants you to do something and he knows that you possess something to touch other people, and you can relate to other people and make people feel better. Maybe that's what the purpose was, guys, for me to really be in the lives of other people and let them know that, hey, there is, things happen to you, but there are people that love you and they're there. And it's a good thing, that we know that. I know there's several people in that chat that I wouldn't mind divulging anything to, but I'm the type of person that I'm the helper. If you bring something to me, I'm not going to tell anybody. But sometimes your older generation. I'm 61 years old, and Josie will tell you this, that we have been through things and we have lived through things, and we can help. That's why I always really admired older people, because I tell you, guys, if you ever want to learn anything, just be around an older person, because they've been there, they've done that, and right, we all support each other. Yes, and it's terrible. Why, it's like people gaslight and stuff, and you feel like this little bitty lamb, and the wolf is out there, and you're very authentic and very true to yourself. And sometimes, guys, people take advantage of that. That's where they mistake kindness for weakness. But yes, they do. And sometimes, trust your instincts. If you think something is wrong, or if you smell a rat, then you're probably right. And just go with that. Don't say anything unkind. Observe, look, watch, and that'll tell you a lot. You can learn a lot by watching. So here is box number 2, and this is from Bruce and Dennis. So I think there's a, oh, my mind just went blank. Well, anyway, they're marked. Let me think about it. There's oh my God, my mind just went blank. Another box. And the Kirk's Folly is one of them. I kind of like to collect those things. And y'all know how Bruce and Dennis, he can kill you out there, because they do have beautiful things. and they made it to their 1K, and I'm very happy for them. And I always heard the name Kirk's Folly, and I thought, I said, how nice would it be to have something like that? And I wore my sunglasses today, and I wore the pair that had the pearls and they were bigger, and I got a lot of compliments on them. No sunglasses in this one, Brian, but yeah, there's one particular pair that I absolutely love. So here we go, guys. And they were larger, and they had like little floral pearlesque things. And on the side, there was a line of rhinestones. It looked rather snappy, I'm telling you. So I just won my first paid in a game last night. So, whoops. Oh my God. There was a battle royale over this bracelet, trust me. But y'all know when I want something, I can be vicious. Look at this. Yes, Brian, I did find a box that's going to support that rooster. Oh, I know why I was fighting so hard. This is a Whiting and Davis, and one that you don't normally see. Check it out. And it has Whiting and Davis stamped on it. And I just love this type of. I collect Whiting and Davis, as a matter of fact. And then, of course, you have your safety chain right there, and I bet it's an older one. Isn't that gorgeous? Man, there was one heck of a battle over that. Because I love Whiting and Davis. I collect it. I do have. I've got a really old purse of Whiting and Davis that. Let's see if I can't snap that on. It's a little snug, guys, but it fits. It's not so snug that it cuts my circulation off. But isn't that gorgeous? But it's a little snug, but I can get my finger in there. So there's my finger right there. But Lord, I wouldn't give that up for nothing. And it's got a safety chain that goes over and hooks. But that is so pretty. And there's still wiggle room. Isn't that beautiful? Whiting and Davis. Thank you. And thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I had to take a power nap. I think I had an episode with my blood sugar dropping. Thank you. And so me and Ginger both have hyperglycemia. That's where you have low blood sugar. And if you don't, you can't go out and do tons of work and be out gallivanting unless you have food. You can't do it. Thank you, Beth. Whiting and Davis. When I heard that, it turned into a feeding frenzy. Look at that dragon. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So I was downstairs. I was putting some pool noodles around something, and all of a sudden I felt dizzy and I was sweating. And I said, "Dummy, you know what that is?" I said, "It's your hyperglycemia." Isn't that gorgeous, Brian? I love that Chinese motif type things. Like I said, it fits. I mean, it's not. Oh, I love that. And you can tell I love things that have age on them. Oh, that is so beautiful. So, oh, yeah, I've got it. And I think the older I get, Christy, it gets worse. Oh, my gosh. Sometimes we need to, but I was diagnosed with that when I was like 35 or something like that. And they said you will eat within so many hours of getting, within an hour after getting out of bed. You will. And I'm like, I said, I didn't come in here to have no drill sergeant. You will. And I'm like, what? Couldn't she approach it a little differently? Let's see. This is I have a Sorelli. I couldn't think of what the name was. And check this out. There is the necklace that is Sorelli. Look at that chain. Now, if that's not gorgeous. Hey, Martiza, welcome in, sweetheart. That is Sorelli. Isn't that gorgeous? But wait, there's more. I have the matching earrings that go with it right here. And they're marked Sorelli, and it matches the set match. So there we have it. Isn't that gorgeous? And that I know I couldn't resist. It was like a moth to a flame. Yes, I am so guilty. But it's longer and it's a Sorelli. So there's your little cartouche right there hanging. And it also says Sorelli on the back of it, on the back piece, which I don't know if you can see it or not, but it says Sorelli right there. Isn't that beautiful? I can tell this is old too. I love me some vintage jewelry. But isn't that gorgeous? Well, it is when you turn it around. And that, my friends, is Sorelli right there on a very long chain. Now I can say that I actually have a Sorelli. So incoming is the Kirk's Folly. Let me put this back in its thing here. And thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Sorelli just sounds very highbrow. You know what I mean? And thank you, Laura, for dropping those links. I really appreciate that. I couldn't help it. I tell you, Bruce and Dennis get some of the most amazing things. They're killing us every Monday and Thursday night. So, this is probably there's a Kirk's Folly in here somewhere. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Yes, Beth, they sure know how to. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And see, it's got that little raised area. And it does have a safety chain as well. Thank goodness that I have a small little tiny wrist. Doesn't it seem, guys, that back in the day that it seemed like the people, they made things for people that had real thin necks and vice versa, little tiny wrists. And I like the thoughts of a safety chain. It just kind of, to me, it says, you're important because you have a chain where you have to connect it. But isn't that gorgeous? And there's that, and it does have that safety chain. Hey, Ash, welcome in. We're looking at pretties. Compliments of Bruce and Dennis kills us every Monday and Thursday night. But and even the look at the latch on that. I mean, we're talking highbrow. When you walk into a room and they see it, their brow goes high, right? And I think this is the Kirk's Folly. Not the Kirk's Folly, but the Can't even think. It's awful. So, oh my goodness, this is the Kirk's Folly. Let's, let's see here. This needs to be secured back down. It just needs a little twist of the pliers there. Oh my goodness, I think this is the Kirk's Folly. Let me see. Let's see. Kirk's Folly. I'm pretty sure it is. Yep. Kirk's Folly. I'm going to have to get a jewelry tool and really just needs to be tightened. It's a little bit loose, the loop is, but it's probably got some age on it. Let's see if I got something to do that with. Okay, there's everything else in here but the kitchen sink, so let's squeeze this together a little bit to keep it from. This is Kirk's Folly. Look at that. That is, and then you have your cartouche right there hanging down, and that is Kirk's Folly. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know. Sometimes there's something about a name that makes you grab onto something, but I often heard the name Kirk's Folly. I just never owned one, but I do now. And this is an older one, probably. I don't know when Kirk's Folly started, but isn't that gorgeous? Just look at that. I'm not for sure when they started, but thank you, Ash. But I like my blingy bracelets, that's for sure. So what I would do would automatically be to fasten this chain first of all, so that I wouldn't have to do it afterwards. So, but yeah, people back then, their necks were really tiny, and who has, it's just sometimes you have to add an extender, but like your AB crystal necklaces, a lot of those are smaller, and it's like, do these people eat back in the day or what? In the 70s, awesome. But you have to wonder, did these ladies actually eat back then? Because they're little bitty necks, and not everybody's one of those of model quality with the little neck like a flamingo, right? Not everyone is little like that. But I think a lot of times clothing brands and different things give ladies complexes. They didn't eat, probably not, because some of them, if you're that skinny, but I think a lot of guys back in the day that a lot, because everything kind of evolves around being a certain size. As long as you're healthy, nobody who wants to be a size 0 and look like a stick, like you put something on and it looks like you've seen the scarecrows out in the field and it has that cross and they put whatever on it is hanging down. That's not attractive to me. Yeah, it does. It has a lot of these meats, they shoot a lot of the poultry and the cows and everything with steroids because it's all about get as much out as you can. They want to make that big turnover, and I think that's why a lot of the younger people today that are like possibly 10 or 11 are close your ears, Brian, are developing quicker because of these hormones that are put in this meat, and it's causing a lot of things. And I think that's the main reason why a lot of the your younger people are developing, the young girls are developing so quickly that they look like they're 30 instead of what they are. And I think that's why, you know, but I think and there's people that that's just their body frame and that's fine. But, when it goes to the point where someone, when they look in the mirror and they're pretty thin, and then they look in the mirror and see like, oh my goodness, I'm heavy, and really they're not. That's when it gets to be a problem. I study on vitamins all the time, right, Brian? Because vitamins have no side effects, unless you take too many at once. But it does. I think every God intended everyone to be different. You know, and society teaches us that if you're not a size zero or a one or a three, then you're not accepted. And that's why so many of these young girls have this hang up about food. And I think it's really wrong when you sacrifice your health for a status thing. It's bad. I think people should. I mean, some people are, that's just the way they are. Green tea makes me feel better if I drink it. Yeah, green tea has a lot of antioxidants in it. It's really good for you, but so I kind of feel for these kids. Lemon water is good too. I kind of feel sorry for these younger kids, like probably 13 or 14, going to school, and there's such a thing where they think they have to be a certain size and to be accepted. And I don't know if it's still that way, but it used to be like that back in the day, that you had to be a certain size, and it's crazy. Everybody is built differently, and you know who wants a walking minion of real thin people that look like that they could use a couple cheeseburgers because they're too thin. Oh yeah, it does. It really does. And of course, as we get older, our weight will change. That's part of life. It just will. Apple cider vinegar. Yeah, that's another good one, Laura. It's a good it helps with. Do you drink it, Laura? Do you add it to water, or do you take the? Yeah, and it's really good for you. But to me, add it to water and drink it. To me, I don't look at what somebody looks like. I don't care. I mean, I don't put a certain specification. Well, this person don't look a certain way, and I'm not gonna. I don't do that because we're all people, and not one of us are perfect. I don't care what people say. Apple cider gummies. Yeah, I don't, does I think clothing looks better on someone that has some weight on them. Like I said, who wants to look like you've seen the scarecrow out in the cornfield with the little, got that cross and two sticks? Who wants to, and then they put the clothes on. Who wants to look that way? Not me. And there's so much in society, there's so much body shaming. Well, you're not a certain size, and this, that, and the other. I think that, you know, people, what makes you beautiful is your heart. I mean, you could look, it doesn't matter what you look like, it's how you treat people and what comes from your heart. That's what it's about, guys. It's not about, being a certain size and being attractive is going to make you treat people like crap. Then you better rethink your way of thinking. But no, we're all people. We're all different. And guys, if we look for the good in people, we'll find it. And I look for the good in people until they show me otherwise. Then I kind of scurry along. But yeah, it does. We're all getting older, I imagine. Of course, I think Beth and Christy's probably a lot younger than some of us, but as we get older, things do happen, and we can either embrace it or let it control our lives. Say, hey, it's me. Here I am. I'm not perfect, but you're not neither. So, and just walk on. So, don't waste your time trying to get someone to appreciate you because it's not worth it. Oh, yeah. I turned 50 something on my birthday, but true beauty lies within. It really does. I mean, I've seen you can be the most exquisite creature out there, but if you treat people bad and you're really ugly, you can look like the ugliest person. Yeah, 50 something. Well, I think growing older is really a privilege that we're alive on this earth and we get another day, another birthday, and things like that. Yeah, Beth, exactly what I was talking about. They're 9 years old, and things are so much different today. I still act 21. Me too, Brian. Me too. I don't feel any different. It's just that, I'm a little bit older and a lot less bolder. It's like, what's she talking about? She knows she's bold. But yes, even at the age of 9, it's, they go to school, well, you're not this if you don't have that, and if you don't wear this, and you're not that. And a lot of kids, not everybody's parents have the kind of money to give their children things that, I think sometimes a lot of the products, the only difference is the name that's on it. There's other things that are comparable to whatever. I always, to me, as I got older and realized that that was just crazy, I like a deal myself. And if I can go in and get something for, I don't want to pay a bunch for something. I like to look good and not pay a lot. And Lydia says she's very happy with herself. Lydia is a very cheerful person. She really is. And Lydia's the same all the time. Lydia likes to have a good time and laugh, and that's what keeps her young, really. Yeah. So, at least we're not comparing ourselves to our neighbor or somebody else. We're just happy because we're alive and we live to be a certain age, and God had mercy and grace and we're still here. I know, Laura. Around here, it's going way past clothing and shoes. Kids are driving $60,000 pickups. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Brian. We're alive. We get up in the morning. We can be thankful for our lives and the people that are in our lives. And yeah, they want them to drive a $60,000 pickup truck until they're out there goofing off and trying to drag race and wrap it around a telephone pole. Oh my goodness. Can you believe we couldn't even fathom when we was kids? And Lydia is 77 and counting, but Lydia has such a young spirit. She is just happy being herself. And imagine us assuming that we were going to get a car that costs that much. So, actually, my husband bought me my first car. I was 19 and he was 22 when we got married. So then he had to go through the painstaking task of teaching me how to drive. He probably, I wonder if he's got any nerves left, you know. But I couldn't imagine driving no high dollar vehicle. I mean, that's just crazy. And then there's another thing about, cell phones in the classroom. I think it distracts. Why, if cell phones were around when we were in high school and we brought one in a classroom, they would yell and send you to the office and probably be pushing you along the way. But I think that phones are, I mean, it's good to have a phone for emergency, but I really don't think they belong in a classroom because it does distract. They're there to learn. And meanwhile, this other kid's playing a video game while the teacher's trying to teach them something, which is their job. My son answered the teacher's ringing cell phone last year. He's very confident. Oh my goodness. The teacher, now she should have had her cell phone on vibrate. Well, one time, you've ever been in the Goodwills where they have this one that's got all the bins and everything, and there's all kinds of activity and people are digging. Well, I went one, he got in big trouble. Well, she really shouldn't, she should have had her phone on vibrate. What she expect? No, that's distracting too, to go live from the classroom. But like I said, it's where all the bins and people are digging. I only went one time and I found something and nobody was up at the counter and I took the phone off of the thing that had a speaker that went out into the store and I said, "Cashier to the front, cashier to the front." I did that. It goes, "Well, we was busy." I said, "I was standing here too." But I did. I picked up their phone and paged them out there. I said, "Shannon, watch this." And I went right over and grabbed her. I said, "Cashier to the front, cashier to the front." Well, I certainly got taken care of after that. I don't do too much crazy things, guys. I'm getting too old. That was when I was probably in my 40s. Well, you ever heard the squeaky wheel gets the grease? Well, I had the elbows and yeah, I think Beth, my elbow was bent when I was paging him. That's awful. I thought, well, I'm not standing here. I'll just page him. But hey, I haven't done anything. Oh, I did do something crazy one time. I think I might have been in my mid 30s. And you guys remember when those splash trucks came out? Ford Motor Company put those little splash trucks out that had they were smaller and had the hubs over the wheel. Well, we had a blue one, and I was on this company softball team. Imagine me playing softball, and we was coming back home, and this lady had this Chevelle, and it was probably late 70s, early 80s. So she was going slow, and I decided we was on the expressway, and I decided to pass her. Well, she sped up, and it was on, and I don't know how fast I was going. And if we'd have got caught, both of us, there was someone with me. If we'd have got caught, they'd have thrown the keys under the jail because we was racing down the expressway. Can you imagine me racing somebody? But I won, though. That Chevelle just didn't have she had a Chevelle and it was an older one. And she wanted to act like that she wasn't going to let me around her. Well, I showed her. And we was just, oh my God, they locked us up. No, it wasn't a freedom. I like something. If I have something, if I know I have something's going to run, I'm going to run it. But I still can't believe I done it. I never told my husband about it until last year. He never knew about it. He would have died. I can imagine you racing someone in a red convertible car with the scarf blowing in the wind. Yeah, I went to pass her and she sped up, and I'm like, oh no, she didn't. And so, man, it was on. Hey, Black Widow, welcome in. Yeah, well, I mean, that's really the craziest thing I ever did. I mean, couldn't you imagine? We'd both be in jail. I don't know. Maybe I was sowing my wild oats at 40. Who knows? I probably was. But yeah, wouldn't let me pass her, and I showed her. And I put the pedal to the metal now. But, but see, my dad was really bad for doing that. And he would do it with us kids in the car. No wonder I'm like that. Look who I got it from. Oh, Lord, have mercy. That was something like someone would do like as a teenager or 18 or not or 20 years old. I was 40 something. And no, I wasn't. I wasn't 40 yet. But that's something like a young kid would do. Guys, I don't know what possessed me to do that. I don't know. And she wouldn't let me pass. And I said, oh no, she didn't. And I took off. So, but, um, but this mellifluore, I cannot believe that they did it all that way and not put some kind of other findings in that. I mean, that's all mellifluore. It's even hard to get a hold of. I mean, this is a whole line of it. But anywho, when we're young, we have to, you know, and there's Black Widow. Laura, you want to drop Black Widow's channel for me? We've been dropping channels and talking jewelry and showing stuff. But here's one thing that I did that I think Shannon was a baby, and so I'm going down to the store to get diapers, and so I think I was. And my neighbor from across the road was always aggravating me, and we had some words in the past. And she walked up on me and said something, thank you, Laura. And I drawed my fist back, and she put her hand up, and it must have bent it. But I was aiming for her face, and I had a skirt on and high heels. And she put her hand up, and I must have jacked her finger up because she put her hand, because I was aiming for her face. So I go home and told my husband what happened. He goes, no, you didn't. I said, I sure did. I got tired of it. And I said, I aimed for her face, and she put her hand up. So I guess I bent back her finger, and she had to go to the emergency room. My husband said, now you done it. The cops are coming. I said, I don't care. I would do it again. I said, nobody calls me that and gets away with it. And I was aiming for the face too, because I had enough for her, and she called me a bad name, and I did one of those Joe Frazier's heading toward her face because she made me mad, and I got tired of it. She lived across the way, and they would burn stuff in their barrel, and it would come over and I'd have my car windows down. But I was aiming for the face. Women are vicious when they fight. We don't pull hair, we punch. But evidently I must have bent her finger back, and it sent her to the emergency room. I said, well, she shouldn't have called me a bad name, and I wouldn't have hit her. And I still remember what I was wearing. I had a white blouse, and a skirt was layered, and it was red with white dots on it, and a pair of white high heels. And man, I'm glad she left because I didn't want to be rolling around the parking lot within a pair of heels and a skirt. So, oh, she called me a bad name. I just it was like slow motion. I said, oh, no, she didn't. But I'm not a fighter, guys. But if somebody calls me a bad name and I've had all I'm going to take, and then they get in my face, then they're going to get it. So, anyway, I'm not the violent type, but she shouldn't have called me what she did. So, right in the face is where I aimed. So, and now we get along just fine, but I don't think we liked each other. But she shouldn't have called me a bad name, and I just snapped like it was just automatic. But we get along just fine now. But so well, guys, it's been great seeing all of you guys and showing you the pretties. And I got to get everything geared up and get this stuff in boxes and get people's stuff out. I did, Lydia. It just you know how you get upset and it's like in slow motion and it just happened. She called me a bad name and pal and I was in heels and a skirt too. I didn't care neither. I'm just glad that I wasn't rolling around in the parking lot with her. Thank you, Beth. And I really love all my stuff, my Kirk's Folly and my pretties, and make sure I put. But yeah, I'm not a fighter, but Sorelli. So back to and we're supposed to, you guys, prayers because we're supposed to get some pretty bad weather tomorrow. So it's going to start tomorrow. So I need prayers, you guys. I tell you, this is the time of the year where these storms can be really bad. So say some prayers because you never know when that big one could come in. So I don't know what kind of, I think people, I don't know about people further to the north, but there could be hail and everything. We don't want to hear that T word. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. But I tell you, it's scary. So I don't know if anyone else that's going to have any storms or anything come tomorrow. We were supposed to gotten rain today later, but we didn't get it. So guys, stay safe. We have a basement and everything, guys. So always have a plan. Have your flashlight, your lantern. My husband's got the generator fired up in case we need it. Read chat above my invitation. Where did I miss something, Lydia? Let's see, turtle shell. Invitation. Okay. Am I missing something? Let's see. So I'm going to let you guys go. Make sure if you're going to have some bad weather that you have somewhere where you can go to be safe. We have a basement, and just have your flashlights and all the things that you'll need if your lights go out because we never know. Thank you guys for being here. Love you guys. I hope you have a great and positive week ahead, and I'll catch you later. Love you guys. Mwah. Stay safe now. Alrighty, I'll catch you guys later. Love you too, Laura. Oh, good night, everybody.